Welcome to my garden, and as of right now it is an absolute disaster, and I'm trying to create the best garden you have ever seen on social media by breaking it down into 5 simple zones. Zone number 1 is going to be the English garden, a beautiful green lawn backdrop with some incredible trees. Zone number 2 is going to be the outdoor kitchen area, somewhere where I can entertain people and eat lots of incredible food. Zone number 3 is going to be the wild area, the bit I'm studying right now, where we are going to invite all forms of nature in to thrive in this beautiful environment. Zone number 4 is going to be the outbuildings. First of all, my YouTube studio, and second of all is going to be the best garden room you have ever seen. Zone number 5 is the one we're all waiting for. I know it's coming, don't worry. It's the underground cinema with a beautiful viewing window into that huge British pond. And of course, it is going to be a aquascapes masterpiece. Welcome to the video. 1, 2, 3. Now, first thing on today's agenda is finishing all the steels off so we can install that beautiful lawn coming from Lindo Lawn Turf. And hopefully today I can get him talking about the turf because he's so talented. The second job is going to be installing our post. There is one little, glasses off, it's important. There's one little worrying thing. Have a look in the hole. If you don't know what that means, it means the water table sits around there, which is a little bit worrying when you're going to be digging an underground cinema, isn't it? So let me show you what Dave's been up to. Our Dave has been busy this morning and he has installed all the trunking in for Josh to come this afternoon and get the lights installed. So by the end of this video, we should have all the lights in, we should have the lawn in, and we should have all the stone in for the paths and the outdoor kitchen. Let's go. Now, honestly, with the steel edging, I wasn't too kind about it yesterday when I first started to install it, but I was wrong a little bit, if I'm being honest, because it's actually really easy to install. So you mark out where you want your piece to go. So like there, you then tap this in. The only bad thing is if you hit a rock. So now this is going in. You get it to roughly the height where you want it to be. You lift that up and hook it in, and there you go. Now, and you can screw it on the inside. So then what I do is I get my level, because I want this just to turn on the bubble, which it is. So now, once I know there, I want it a slight curve on it. So I'll put this in. You want to put this in, again, to a similar height, like so. And then you lift the clip up, give it a little taparoonie, and then you have it. We are going to screw it at the top, screw it in, but this is going to kind of be, both sides are going to have land roughly the same height. So this is just to separate the soil and the lawn. But what did that take? 10 seconds? Not even that. So now what we do is we click onto that one like so. So again, all you do then is you find your end of where you want it to be. Put one in the middle. And then lift it up and clip it back in. And it's as simple as that. It's definitely, I know this is a big statement, guys. I know it is, but I reckon this is the best steel edging that we've installed. I'll show you how I bend it as well. So I just put it on my leg, give it a little bend, and I just want to match it up with that one so they're all the same. So that's kind of right now. And then we sit that one in there again, like so. I'm just going to move that. Oh, we can use it as a spade. So then the next one is going to be a cut. I'm going to bend this one up like the rest of them, and then it'll fit in, and I need to mark it. Did I get my pencil? Of course I didn't. So now we can backfill it. The lawn is going to go absolutely plumb level. So what I do need to do, I've got some timber around there. We're going to use that in a minute just to get a level lawn. We'll get that old roller out. Right, I'm gonna have to nip off to the builders merchant now and get some paint to put my posts in, and I need to get something for what's it called. So I put the steels into here. I think I do need to screw them in, but I don't know. I think once they've got shit next to them, they won't move anyway. I'm gonna get a plank of wood in a minute. See how it's high there in the middle?
Yeah, you're gonna screed it.
Yeah, so we'll screed it with a bit of timber. I've just got to finish off this area. I just need to go and pick some bits up to put the posts in. So I don't know, do you want to try and get the digger round, sort like that tree out, plant that? No, not for the digger, to come round here and start pulling all this out backwards.
Yeah, let me
finish that bit. Big digger's coming next week, big boy. Start digging for the tunnel, baby. Our Dave has done an incredible job. There is a pipe that now runs underground. You can't see it, do you know why? Because it's underground. All the way down here, and what we've done is left a big loop up here, so now Josh can cut it where he wants it. We will have run another pipe from the front gate to this same place over the coming weeks to run the gates from the thing. So essentially there'll be a data point from the front gate all the way to the cinema room. So when you're in the cinema room and people pull up, there's going to be a camera up there and we can see who's at the gate. Just say if you're underground and like the apocalypse happens and all like the zombies are coming, we can see them at the front of the gate. So that's kind of the plan. What Dave's doing now, he's just putting the soil over it just to hold it in place, so then he'll jump on the digger in a minute and knock it all back. I can see it. It's now time for me to install some posts. But before we install some posts, I'm going to treat the bottoms of them so they don't rot over time. And to do that, we are going to use a bitumen. Tape measure in my pocket. Will you get us my pen off my pants, love? So this is how I'm going to treat my legs. So I'm going to put in, let's have a little look at each hole, slightly different. All we're really concerned about is the soil, because it's actually the soil that rots away. So that 80, is it there? 60? 60. So we're going to go 70, just to give it a little bit extra protection. So from 70, right, so what did we say? 70? We're going to put a mark there, and then we're going to come in with our beautiful bitumen, and what this does is it acts as a barrier between your timber and the stuff that actually rots it, which is the mud. People think it's the water that rots it, and it's not actually true. It's actually the bacteria out of the soil. It's actually fungus that actually, I've seen a documentary on it once. There we go, American steel. We're gonna use this one. Why? Because we just want to. Sorry, mate. What is it?
White pipe split right on the corner.
Which one? The
Where we've turned it. Just thinking we're going to have to make it
split as in bad split, or?
completely clean split.
Oh, how's it done that?
It's so tight down there. That's why I thought you were going to cut it off and put a...
90 on it. You just had to do a sweep from there. We'll figure it out.
I can't, well,
Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. Oh, it's come up.
I'd say we could...
No, it'll have to. Fuck, we might have to put a new one in.
You'll have to cover it with another piece of duct with a cut in it going over and then taped up, seriously taped up. But the only other thing to do is put the inspection thing.
Yeah, and then we could run it into there, I suppose. We might have to put an inspection chamber on it there. My only slight other worry is it's really tight to that fence line. We're going to be putting a new fence in it soon. So is it worth just...
Make a cover, it'll need taping up.
Possibly it might snag on it though. Let's cut that down, cut that tube down, and then we'll use that as the inspection chamber there. Do you want to paint the ends on it and I'll cut that? So I've left a mark there. We're just going to put 2 posts in, just right all the way around. I'll cut that off there. Right, to fix that problem over there, I'm gonna go and cut the pipe down, which I need to do anyway, and then we're gonna put an inspection chamber on that. But to not slow the day down, Dave's just gonna paint the bottoms of the legs just to protect them while we crack on and do some of this. While I'm at it, I may as well just tie this tree up. Now this isn't forever, guys. That can go in the bin. And then we're off to cutting the steels in, sitting them in. We're doing all right, we've still got time. So, oh, the butterfly, look at that. I wanna try and get the knuckle as low as possible. Have it. We have access. I have got a concern though. So now my idea, where's it gone? Is to stick that on there. So now we can get our hands on the cables in there, and then I'm going to grease this up, and that'll be the roof, and we can cover that. So now all the soil and the plant can be moved over here a little bit, like so, and then that cover, once I've greased it up, will sit in there and protect all the electrics. But we need some grease. Good little idea, isn't it? So now we've got a full access chamber. So that is the inspection chamber for Joshy boy, done and dusted. So we've put it the same height as this. That'll sit on top of it. I am going to grease it up so we can get it in and out. But essentially now you can get your hands in, you can feel the cables, you can connect it all up, and then you can actually drill maybe in there and have some cables going out into the beds, because he's coming today and he's going to install 5 up and down lights and 6 spike lights. So next on the agenda is our steel edging. So I'm just going to cut this quickly, get that installed, and then get the post installed. Then it's time for stone, lawn, clean up, electrics, zone 1, finito. Wow. That's how strong I am. I'm not that strong. There we go. So that is that little job finished. So the steel edgings are completely in right around the perimeter of the lawn. The inspection chamber's done. We now need to take this and go and put a new inspection chamber on the corner so Josh can pull his cables through, and then it's time to install the posts, and then it's stone time. We're getting somewhere today. Next quick fix is going to be this corner pipe. We're going to quickly just get this in, so then Josh has got somewhere to work from, and then we will again, what's that, bud? Dig around it. I know we might be all right. Oh yeah, like a glove. Absolute Bodrick Central, but listen, sometimes you've got to make do with what you got to make do, and if it works, it works. Do you know what I'm saying? That goes in there now like a glove, which it does. Oh my God. But then the pipe's going to be, we can extend it in.
Push that in further.
Yeah, I will.
Push that in further, and then when you put the hole.
Right, gives the drill. I love the idea of this stuff, but it doesn't half get in the way. I wonder how many people actually use it. Right, here's my genius idea. So that goes in there. Here we go, baby. CT1, the perfect snag list eliminator. Now, it doesn't have to be pretty, this, guys. I know what you're gonna say. Ooh, it's white, it's not the same. Just to hold it in, guys. Right, Dave, we're actually firing ahead. I know it doesn't seem like we are, but we are. That saved the day out, mate. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna bury them, gonna start getting them posts buried. That's my shovel. You know what a shovel is? Do you know what a shovel is? A shovel is a Spanish shovel. That's a bloody good dad joke, that. Luke's just asked me an important question. At one side of the timber is flat, and then the other side has a kind of pyramid shape on it, and it's so when it rains, the water runs off it and rather than sit on top of it. You tell you what, you're always learning on this channel. Do you know what you can call me? Colin Furs. Oh, do you want another trick? So how do we know what hole's deeper than each other hole? So right now, if you have a look in this hole, there's a lot of water. See it? And go and have a look in the other hole. There's also water. So if I fill the stone up to the water, it means that the post will go in level. Do you know why? Because water levels itself. How cool is that? That is why they call it a water level, sunshine. Right, we're all right, that one. Right, time to lift the first one in. Here we go. Here comes Arnold Schwarzenegger again. So just for context for the people at home, these are 450 kilogram each. But because I'm 7'2", they look, I make it look light. So what I'm doing now is I'm holding it level, and I'm just making sure I've got a nice depth around my post to put the postcrete in, which I have. Should we just bang the little bag in here, Davey? Can you install a post on your own? We're gonna find out, guys. Put that on there, I'm gonna hold that on there. I'm gonna get some water. Hope the wind don't blow around. I've got my water, I've got my postcrete. I don't need to put any more water in there, but I might do. Now what I do is I'm just going to put some holes in it like a little sewer, so when I pull the water in it just doesn't pour all over the ground. You want to try and maximise it as much as possible, especially at the back. Absolutely right on the money. Now to set the second post. The first post we know where it's going to go, so we've come just on the inside of this for the simple reason when we put the frame up, I want the frame to just come on the outside. So this area here, we've not really discussed it much, but this is like a bonus area. So the whole point of my YouTube studio was to invite people around and help them with social media, because it also helps me when I teach people. It kind of gets you better. So this area is going to be, can't show you the studio yet. I know some of you seen it on a live, but until Con releases his video, I don't want to kind of show it too much. But this area is going to be where people come round, I teach them social media, help them with stuff. Also, when we invite people around, some of you guys mostly, we're going to have an outdoor chill out area where we can put bean bags, we can have plants, and I'm also going to recreate my most viral video, which is installing the wisteria on the roof. I also am going to add some climbing plants both sides, so over time natural plants will creep in and take over, and we'll get rid of the fake ones. And then we can also have lots of little, have you noticed? There's lots of butterflies in my garden. Bloody cute, aren't they? I've never seen so many butterflies in my life. There's more butterflies in my garden than there is in that place where we went to in Dubai. We're now just going to spend about half an hour leveling the lawn. So what I'm using is a big bit of timber, and we're just scraping it like so. So we're going to show you. Go back again, Dave.
shit.
A little bit high there. So you can see where it's mounded here, but it's not took anything there. So now what I'm going to do is we're essentially just robbing Peter to pay Paul, and we're just shoveling that over there. So now when we scrape it, we should have a nice straight lawn in a minute, you see. So it's happened again, so move that back. I'm just going to use that to infilate that little dip there, and then you just keep working around it till you've got a nice flat lawn. So you can see how it's pulling kind of even over everywhere there, so you know it's level, but you can see where it's dropped a little bit there. So that's what we're just going to spend, it's about half an hour on. Just keep rocking, rolling, going over it. Now, when you put the turf in, it is going to settle and it is probably going to move, but we want to try and get it as perfect as possible so it gives it a good head start. And then what I'll have to do, either back end of the year, early next year, do a good top dressing session. So we're using another, in fact, Lindo do the best top dressing soil I've ever come across. About 80 quid a bag. Now, from Travis Perkins, their normal soil is around about 80 quid. So to get proper top dressing soil is really good, and it's really hard to find as well. So Lindo Lawn Turf, the place where we're getting our turf from, I'll put the details in the description below, but any top dressing soil or any turf or any soil, drop them a message. We needed access through here, so this is essentially where the pond's going to be anyway, so we've just got rid of a huge tree stump. We're now just going to backfill it, get in and start scraping it all back this way, and then we can install the stone, and we've got roughly 1 hour before the turf comes, so it's go karting. Death and destruction! Hi guys, feels like it's been a while since I spoke to you, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an update, a little bit of death and destruction. We've completely got rid of everything to be able to get kind of access around here. It's opened up so much room. This is an absolute nightmare. It's the pump, so I have just dropped United Utilities a message just to see if we can move this, because if we can move it, maybe even just like there but lower, because as you can see it's sitting higher than my lawn right now. Pretty of a waste of time, it's higher than everything. This would have been put in as an emergency measure, so when it got put in they wouldn't have been thinking about anything else other than getting this in to fix the problem. But now we've got someone in that cares about the garden and wants it to be nice. This is going to have to be relocated, but it's a little bit of an offset, because round here we could potentially stick the container in there, which means it saves everyone a headache of moving that. But we also need to work out the levels, because right now the pipe is so high in the ground I can't do anything with it because the building is low. So we need to kind of work up, because if we have any of the land higher than the building, guess what happens? The building floods, and we don't want that to happen. Next week's plan is going to be kind of fixing all this area. Is that I'm off? Ignore me guys. So I was hoping really to get all the stone in for the outdoor kitchen, but we're going to have to scrap that idea just for the time being until we've sorted that out, because if you come round here and dip low, now this is going to be the hardcore for the path, and as you can see the lawn's higher over there, but if you look at the sucker over there, it's reasonably high. So we're going to have a chat with United Utilities, see if we can get that kind of moved out the way, so then we can start to move forward with our plans. But right now we're going to try and get some stone in, get a bit of normality, and then get this thing turfed. I've not really spoke much about this area, but essentially what I want to try and do is have a nice porcelain paving area with a nice pattern in it, or clay pavers. But even one of them we do need hardcore down. I mean, there is hardcore down, but these bits of soft, bits of hardcore. So we're going to put in slightly more hardcore than normal. Normally we go just about 100 to 150 mil. We're going to go 200 mil here, just because the ground's quite soft. We're on peat round here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice thick layer of MOT, which is this stuff's type 3. We're then going to put in probably about 50 mil of lean mix, which is like a concrete over the full top, just to kind of hold it a bit more solid. Then we'll put the porcelain in, and then what I am going to do as well, I'm going to use as big slabs as possible, so then then if anything ever does move, then you've got less of a chance of the porcelain moving because they're big and heavy and they won't really budge. Right, we're having a little stop for a moment. One, because the MOT is absolutely killing me off, and two, he's back by popular demand. It's Noel. How you doing, pal? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
I asked his dad messaged me yesterday and said, do I need any turf? And I said yes, the premium. Now the premium, the turf, it's grown on a different turf, and the reason why I wanted to mic you up is, what is the difference between economy and premium? Because I've always got premium off you just because, one, it's lighter, so you're not killing yourself when you're carrying it. Two, it's grown on, is it compost?
Like a peat ground.
Like a peat ground, so it's I always find it grows quicker than the other, so if you might be able to tell me if it's true or not. But can you explain the difference between economy turf and premium turf?
Yeah, so the premium turf is, like say, on that peat compost ground, so we do tend to say it loves to bring that moisture into itself.
Yeah.
So like I say, we do think it does grow that little bit quicker, but the main difference is the roll sizes, like you say, the roll sizes.
They're slightly thicker.
They're slightly thicker, but a lot of people like the wider rolls to them.
Yeah.
The economy we do is only, it's that half the size.
Yeah, it's like 30 centimetres or something.
Yeah, but it's that bit longer.
Yeah.
But that's on a clay ground from Chelford, so that's, like I say, a lot of people think they're heavier and harder to work with, so that's why people do tend to go with premium more.
So when I first started buying turf from you nearly 7 years ago, I used to get the economy to start with, and it was slightly cheaper, and you'd never sold the difference in premium to economy. You sold a lot more economy than you did premium. Is that the same now, or has it reversed and you sell more premium now?
To be fair, we probably sell a bit more premium now because people such as yourself have seen the qualities in the premium and have tend to just, I'll spend that little bit more just to have that looking a lot better.
And when we say a little bit more, it's little pence in it, because is it still £2.60 a roll for the premium?
Yes.
And then if you're ordering over 10?
Yeah, it does obviously change within obviously how much you have, but it is obviously.
And what's economy?
The economy now is like 20 or 25p cheaper a roll.
So it's an absolute no-brainer. And obviously you still want to sell economy because you've got fields growing a bit, but I would definitely suggest getting the premium. We're going to show you it now. Another thing I wanted to ask you, I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but it's important. People install lawns. Now, me as a landscaper, when I used to work for lawn, when I used to own lawn straps and edges, we used to install lawns. We'd go back and do the first cut, and we'd always feed it, so the feed would last 3 months. What people do, they'll install a lawn and they'll just leave it and they'll think it's going to stay that green. How often do you treat and feed your lawns that are in the field?
Too much that we like. Yes. We're on them constantly. We mow them every 2 or 3 days. They're getting mown, ferted. They're getting ferted so much that it's terrible for the bank account. But they're ferted a lot.
It's great for us if you're buying it, but it's great for us.
So like say, every roll you buy has definitely had fert on it within maybe a week or so.
Oh wow.
So like maybe like say every two odd weeks we'll lash them with fert, but it's a bit different with obviously gardens and fields, because obviously some fields will need them and some obviously won't, because we're not going to be doing out on them. But any field that we're cutting straight on, that is getting mown, ferted, watered, especially in weather like this. Water is the key. Like I say, we're watering it every morning, every night, because just what we have to do. But it's a hell of a lot of work just to keep them nice and green.
So let's go and have a look at the rolls of turf now, and you'll see what I mean. Right, let me just show you the difference. So when you get your turf delivered, it looks like that. Beautiful, thick, green turf. And like he said, he mows it every 2-3 days. He fertilises it more often than not, and it keeps it like that. So when you get your lawn installed, you need to keep on top of the feed. You don't need to do it every week, but once a month, keep on top of it. More regular cuts. The more regular, the better. I cannot believe how far we've come this week in the garden. It's honestly a massive, massive achievement to think of where we started with at the end of the week, and we've had, you know, horrible weather, we've had rain, we've had to deal with all kinds. But the fact that after this turf is done, we have completed one zone, I'm honestly so proud. Thank you all so much for like spurring us on and keeping us going. These daily uploads have been mental. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed, it does make a huge, huge difference. It means that we get more exposure to brands, which means that we can get more money, which means we can get back out on the road and surprise more and more people with gardens. Yes, I want a beautiful garden, because when I'm out on the road surprising people, it takes it out of you mentally and physically. So I want somewhere where I can come back, have a coffee with the dogs and Tina, and just chill out and relax and take a little bit of nature in. So thank you so much for all your likes, all your comments. Keep them going. Let me know if you want me to continue this daily load. Right, let's get it all finished and see where we get up to. Is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this week. We have done absolutely incredible. Zone 1 is complete. We are now going to attempt Zone 2, which is the kitchen, which will more than likely be next week, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Don't forget to tap that subscribe button. Lots of love. I'll see you on the next one.
YouTube's telling you to watch this video, so watch it, because I might not get paid off him.